file system in release 12.1.x. So now let's understand the file system in detail. So what I've done here is drawn that diagram. You have seen this diagram in a previous movie, and as you would see, again there are three top directories. You've got one for database, one for install top, and one for application. So as you would see, within database you've got Oracle Home out here, and then you've got install top directory, and then you have applications directory within that. The most important ones are Apple Top and Common Top, and then your Oracle Homes lies in 10.1.2 and 10.1.3. Now what I'm gonna do it is I will explain you each of these in a little more detail over here. So basically the database apps st/data directory contains the system table spaces, it contains the redo log files, database table spaces, index table spaces, and database files. Whereas the 11.1.0 directory contains Oracle Home for 11G database. Now what I'll do now is I will minimize this and I will actually go in the server and show you this directory structure. Okay, so let's do that. Now here is the server. Now what I will do it is I will show you the directory structure in two ways. One is we will go through the actual directory structure through the main directory one by one, just like we do it in Windows environment. But remember that this is a Linux environment, but I'm just showing you just for your ease. It's easy to understand. So when you go to the main file system, Oracle applications have been installed in release in this U01 directory. Okay, and within U01 simply go to apps, and then you will find EBS 12, which is the context, and then within that you will see that there are three directory structure, and this is what I'm referring to in my presentation over here. You can see database directory, install directory, and application directory, and that's what it is. Okay, and within database directory structure, if you double click, you have two directories over here, apps st and tech st. Within apps st you would see that you've got a data directory, and as I've explained you, basically that directory contains the system table spaces, redo log files, database table spaces, index table spaces, and database files. So basically you go back here and you open that, that's what you would see all in this directory. Whereas when you go to the other directory, tech st, it contains the Oracle Home. So you go into that, basically you go into Oracle Home, and that's where you run the environmental file, which is this one. So you've got the context name .env, and then the instance name .env. So this file you run to set the Oracle database environment, and then you start the Oracle database and then the listener. So that's how it works. Okay, so that was on the database side. Let's close this to avoid any confusion. And if I go back in the terminal in Unix, so let's close all this. Okay, and I'll go to the terminal now. So if I go to the terminal here, and this is basically the base directory, which contains the three directories, apps, db, and inst, and the database is the one which we have just seen. So if you simply go to the database directory and see, there are two directories within that, and if you go into apps st, again you will find one more directory, data, and which contains all the information that I just shown you. Now we'll again go back to the database directory, and then we'll go in this time in text st directory, and this time it contains 11.1.0, and as I've shown you, it contains the environment file vis EBS_12.env. So this vis is basically nothing but your SID name. Okay, and then the context.env, and this is the one you actually run it on the command prompt after logging in as the Oracle user to set the Oracle environment. Now I'll go back to my presentation and we'll come back to the second structure. So the second structure is install top. Okay, and as you would see here, And I will now go back to the server, and what I'm gonna do it is I will go back to the directory structure. Okay, the tree out here using folders, easy to understand. And then I go into apps, EBS 12, and this is where my install top is lying. Okay, and as I have explained you earlier, this install top is also called as instance home, and it basically provides a kind of an ability to share your application and technology code among multiple instances. For example, a test instance or a UAT instance or a development instance or so on. Okay, so let's go back in the server. Okay, and if I double click on that, you've got multiple directory structure within that, and you will also have a couple of more directories out here. So now we are not going to go much into this because it will simply add more confusion to you. So we'll close this one off. Okay, so that's the main one. And if I go back here to my presentation, the third one is what we called as the apps or application tier server. Okay, and it contains again two subdirectories. Within one subdirectory, apps st, you've got Apple top and common top, whereas on the other side you've got two directories which contains the application server and has got what we call as Oracle homes. Okay, so in terms of the exact definition, Apple top contains product related directories and files for e-business suite, as we understood earlier, and then the common directory contains the Java classes, HTML pages, and other files and directories used by multiple products. And as I explained you, the last two ones contains the Oracle home. So if I go back in the server, and I click on apps directory this time, so where am I? If you recall, I'm here. Okay, so you'll find two directories in that, apps st and tech st. So I'll double click on that, you will see those two directories, and likewise if I double click again, I will find application and common here, and then in tech st I'll find 10.12 and 10.13. These are nothing but Oracle homes for your application servers, and that is nothing but your high level directory structure for release 12.1.x environment. Now in the subsequent movies, we will also go in the server for release 12.2, and I will walk you through this directory structure. The main difference you would see that is one more directory structure called as FMW, which basically stores Fusion middleware, home, and all other related directories for Fusion middleware and WebLogic server.